Good.
What's good? What's good? This weekend sound good for you?
Oh, this weekend's great for me. How's it work out for you?
I don't know. This weekend don't sound so hot for me. What's good, fans? What's
Okay.
good? Thank
All
you
right
guys for tuning
then.
in. We appreciate you guys for sticking with us, man. Sorry we're a little tardy today. I'm gonna blame it all on Cleveland today. I'm gonna blame it all on Cleveland.
It's
Um,
always on my shoulders.
man, what's the weather like, Cleveland?
Oh man, 54 and cloudy, man. It ain't good. It's not
54.
good.
I decided to come outside for you guys. Give you guys a little outside view of what little got people walking by, scenery going down. It's dead downtown LA. A little humid out here actually, but it's a little sweatshirt weather. But nonetheless, man, there's a lot going on this week, Cleveland, that we need to get into. Specifically, we got the NBA playoffs, man. My goodness, if that's not catching your attention, well, I don't know what you're doing. We got the NFL draft tomorrow, Cleveland. We got some lives going to be changing. The Seahawks might get them another quarterback. Who knows? They might get them another quarterback who doesn't miss a game for 9 straight years. I mean, that could happen actually. Or they could get Dan McGuire or Kelly Stoffer or or, or who else we got? Rick Meyer or
Admirer,
John Kitna or who else we want to go? Um, I
Johnny
mean, geez, I
Flynn.
forgot
Yeah,
about these guys.
any number.
I mean, I
I'm
don't
sorry,
want to say
Matt
Dave
Flynn.
Craig.
Yeah, any
I
number
mean, Dave
of
Craig was a playoff winner, so
quarterbacks.
he won playoff games. But anyway, we don't know who the Seahawks might get tomorrow. Who knows? Who knows? They're going to be in the mix.
Marcus
But
Tuiasosopo. We don't know.
wow, we going back. Um, thank you guys for tuning in, No Cleveland. Appreciate you for sticking with us. As always, fans, I want to thank you guys for your patronage. We're gonna get you some paraphernalia here shortly. That's one thing to do on this summer's hot list is get some paraphernalia for the show, Cleveland. Um, Today is April 27, 2022. As I stated, we got the NFL draft tomorrow. We got NBA playoffs, but we want to start with our numbers. Today is the 27th of April, and it's week 188, Cleveland. So we got the 27 to 88 we're working with today. When you think of the number 27, who comes to your mind first, or who wear that number the best for?
It's a tough number, Cam, but who really comes to mind first is a cornerback from Florida State, a cat named Terrell
Steve
Buckley.
Buckley.
Comes to
Steve
mind
Buckley.
first. Ooh, he was he was Deion Sanders Jr. and looked every bit the part. Ooh, not quite
Buckley.
there, not quite there, but
Buckley
at
would take a
Florida
lot of.
State,
He
he's
would take a lot
definitely
of
the one
chances.
B to Deion.
He would take a lot of chances. So that made it difficult. But yeah, Buckley was smooth with it. Um,
Who wore it best was Eddie George, though. The
Eddie George
battering ram,
really,
Skeletor.
really. So you were impressed with Eddie George's 11,000 yards in the league, huh?
Skeletor over Stephen Atwater, yeah.
Steven Atwater is another good one, wore best. But you didn't go Mike Trout. I mean, does no Mike Trout get does his years in the league get discounted? Get
Body of
compared
work is
to?
not extensive so far. And missed a whole year last year, as I recall, Cam.
I mean, he played a couple months, didn't he? He played a couple months. He missed a big
Okay,
portion of the year. I'll give you that.
maybe through April or maybe through May. Yeah, yeah. Mm-mm.
It was a big portion. I'll grant you that. But Eddie George, Johnny Johnson, NBA champion, Willie Williams, Northwest Seattle Seahawks cornerback. You don't remember those guys. Okay. I mean, number 88. I guess you can go Drew Pearson. You can go Tony Gonzalez. You can go Lynch Swan. But when you think of the number 88, what comes to your mind?
Well, Cam, I mean, do you think you know me pretty well?
I mean, I noticed. I just named some Hall of Fame players.
Cam,
That,
Cam, 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 Cam.
that
At this point, do you think you know me pretty well after 10 years of the show?
oh, absolutely.
Okay, then why don't you tell the fans what I'm thinking right now?
I mean, because we got to hear it coming from you. I can tell them what I think on
Nah, man. It will mean more if it comes from you, because that means you understand where I'm coming from. Cam,
I
who is
mean,
it?
the playmakers the only guy
The
left.
playmaker.
He's the
That's the
only guy
only
left.
guy.
And man, his intensity. I saw him at the fight the other night. Got a video
And
posted up
wanted to
there.
fight you, didn't he?
He didn't. No, he's not in a fighting mood anymore. But he's still in the enthusiasm. The
Yeah.
enthusiasm is still there.
The
The
brass and the
enthusiasm
bravado is still there.
that's not going away because his fervor for athletics is still right on point. And even at shit, he got to be 55, right?
Pushing that,
54,
yeah,
50.
at
Yeah.
least.
So I mean, I'm telling you, that energy is still there. Is no doubt. So yeah, the playmakers, like I said, I mentioned Tony Gonzalez, Drew Pearson, Lynn Swan, but none of them eclipse what he would do with wearing that number. Cleveland has been in the NBA playoffs, man. Woo.
Yeah,
Woo, 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 woo.
yeah.
We got a Atlanta, Miami. What you want to talk? Go ahead. I'll let you talk about them real quick. I don't think they're the topic du jour, but if you got something you
Yeah,
want to
yeah.
say about,
Nothing to
I
really
mean,
see.
oh, you're not doing
No,
this today. You're not doing this today. I
yeah,
mean,
no, yeah, no,
what's
yeah.
that?
They turned the temperature up, yeah, and melted all those ice trays. Yeah,
The heat.
yeah,
So the
and
sun is better
Clint
than ice,
Capella
huh?
was not healthy, not able to assist his his dude. So yeah,
Wait, Clint Capella. You went
yeah,
Clint Capella on me? Did
yeah.
you just go Clint
Other than
Capella?
Trey Young, who else was on the team? I mean, can you
No,
name
I'm
another
just saying
player?
you would Clint like he's a difference maker. We're talking about playoff action. You would Clint Capella. That's where you went.
You're missing 15 and 17 and two
I mean,
blocks. Yeah,
wow. Woo. You didn't go Hunter. You didn't go
no,
Gallinari. You didn't
no,
go.
Collins. Yeah, no, no,
I
none of those
mean,
guys. Yeah, they're not that cool.
woo. But they're on out of here. I mean, so Miami is real deal though. You see, Spoelstra got him another crew that he's been working on quietly down there in the lab in the 305, just kind of tinkering away. And now Bam is healthy, ready to go. They got the couple, the duel out there in Robinson and Tyler Hero out there. The duel from outside with your boy Jimmy, ready to perform. And then they sat the couple guys down yesterday. And then Oladipo went off and got him a dub yesterday. So we see that they might be a force to reckon with here pretty soon. That somebody gonna see because, in fact, who did they play? They were number what? They were number one, so that means they're gonna play the winner of the 5 and 6. Is the Raptors and the Sixers?
4 and 5, Sixers, Raptors.
Okay. I mean, do you want to get into that series, or do you want to get into that series right now? I mean, what else
Yeah,
do we
yeah,
get?
yeah. We can
Do
get
we
into
get the Heat
whatever
just to do?
NBA series.
Do we
We
just
get
get
it.
the heat enough do? We got to make sure we get the heat enough do though, because Spoelstra they've already been working quietly. You don't even have you. I don't think you had him in your supremacy rankings all season long.
Good win.
So
Good
so
win. Good win. Way
oh
to get through that
you still
that
not giving them no
series.
credit. You still not giving them no credit. I say that was a they just didn't have to go deep because they just dusted off Atlanta. And like I said, they rested a couple players and Victor Oladipo, who hadn't played all series long, went off for a dub. So I hate to say Nate McMillan, I thought they overplayed themselves last year. This season, they kind of regress to the mean. They make the playoffs and then just get dusted off. So, all right, enough of that series. We'll talk about it when we come back. But if they're going to play, and do I have that correctly? The 1 and 8 will going to play now the winner of the 4 and 5, right? If I have that correct.
That is correct.
So that 4 and 5 is the Sixers are leading the Raptors 3-2 going to Toronto.
Mm-hmm.
We already know. We talked about earlier in the last week that Thibault's not going to be able to play in Toronto. They're not going to clear him at customs. He's going to be left in at the border. Harden. I mean, I said Harden and the Nets are going to go to the finals as soon as he signed with the Nets at the beginning of the season. Harden hasn't been kind of what we expected to be for the Sixers thus far. Embiid's carrying the show, obviously with his game winner a couple nights ago. Um, Embiid's carrying the show, but right now we see that the Raptors are fighting their way back into this matchup, and there's a lot of pressure on the Sixers in this game 6. Although they're leading the series, they're going into Toronto. If they should lose this game, that means they're coming back home for game 7. And excuse me, the history of Doc Rivers, the history of James Harden, the history of Joel Embiid in the playoffs. Everybody has their own little history, right? Joel Embiid against these Raptors, Harden being up 3-1, Doc being up 3-1. This will be the fourth time we've done this. Different franchises. Big game. What say you, man? What say you about this game coming up? Is this series? Philly was playing with their food, as you like to say. What say you about this series and your prediction for tomorrow night?
Cause for concern, Cam, especially considering Joel Embiid and his thumb. Man, it doesn't feel good. It hurts a lot, and the way those guys, swipe
Kudos
down.
to Joel Embiid though. These simple injuries will put him on the sideline before. He wouldn't play. Now he's muscling through that. Now his play is worth it for him to muscle through that. So kudos to Joel Embiid. I'm sorry, we didn't mean to cut you off.
Yeah, so there's that to consider. There's, you talk about regression back to the mean. Maxey is regressed back to the mean. Not quite, 35, 37.
Well, we weren't going to get that every night now. You know that. You knew we
I
were
know,
going to
but
get that every night.
they were acting like he was just on the,
we'll see it again.
threshold of just taking over, and no, that's not what's going on.
It might be him that closes the series out. Who knows?
Might be. Tobias, he had some really good games the first couple of games, and kind of regressing back to the mean a little bit. So
there you go.
Then that means your other NBA MVP is supposed to step up and be a problem for Toronto. So far, he has not. He's been kind of like out of sorts, looking like playoffs from 3 or 4 years ago. We thought that he had matured and become a better player in the playoffs, but maybe not. In which case, Philadelphia, I don't want to say they made a mistake because Ben Simmons hasn't played a game an entire year. But at the same time, championship runs through Philly, Embiid and Harden being able to take some of the pressure off of Embiid. And so far, he has not really been able to do that. Game 6 looks like it will be electric in the crowd. And God forbid, Fred VanVleet finds a way to walk back out there on that court, man. Hit 2 or 3 threes.
All-Anawi.
No. Cut him out. Man.
What are you talking about? Those are long, lanky guys.
No, he's cool. No, he's good. But what I'm saying
those are
is
long, lanky guys. That's the
he's
thing.
A tall, lanky guy. But listen to me. I watched that guy Precious play at Memphis last year. He is like really balling out. Like he's super long and like, oh, that's what that guy was supposed to be. Oh, because I never saw it at Memphis. I was like, okay, why are you leaving? Okay, well, that's up to you. And yeah, good money, top 10 pick, but like make impact in the playoffs? Nah, I didn't see it.
Your boy said Masai Azuri, the GM, hollered at him. He's been around the way, right? He went to Nathan Hill, right?
Yeah.
So at Summer League a few years ago, I was talking to him about the draft. He's like, the draft. He was like, the draft. I'd rather get players who I've seen play against. They don't even have to be in the league. They could be in the G League. But if they played against that same talent, that's what I need to see. You don't see that in college. So you don't see that it's still a crapshoot. I need to see the players who have played against them. So I work the free agency market. Makes sense, right? You get somebody that you've seen in this league, in this competition, you'll go ahead and get down. I thought that made a lot of sense. There are not a lot of guys go that way. So you see them getting either players that they develop or players that they want to work with and develop them that have the skills that they're looking for. You follow what I'm saying? And they're looking for that lengthy Siakam type guy who can do. I can't forgive me. I can't pronounce the guy's name, but there's another guy who's identical to Siakam. I want to say Alanawi or something.
Yeah, you
Forgive
got
me.
it. You're close now. I see it. I hear you hearing.
He does the exact long and lanky does the exact same thing. Plays great defense. He doesn't shoot a great 3-pointer. He doesn't have a great jumper, but does all things well enough that you must respect all of those. That leaves those opportunities open for him. So I feel what Toronto is doing, and they're going to be. What did I told you? I picked the Raptors, and here they are right at the cusp, trying to make Philly sweat. I had the Sixers winning the finals or going to the winning the East. Excuse me.
Oh, Cam, let's retract. You picked the Raptors after picking the Sixers, and then they went down 0-3, and now it's 3-2, and you're
Yeah, I
feeling
got
like
it.
you're feeling like almost good, aren't you?
No, I'm feeling like
Almost good, aren't you?
You see why I picked
They
them.
went down 3-0, man.
Okay, but what's the record now? They're going back to Toronto, and
They're down 2-3.
You're not willing to put. You're not
And
putting anything.
if they don't win
You're
this
not
game,
putting anything
they're
on this
going home.
game. Of course, it's win or go home. Yes, but you're not willing to put anything on the Sixers winning this game. You're not going to do that. You're not putting absolutely nothing. I already know that. Young Sam is out the door on this one. He closed the door. Young Sam didn't even answer the phone when I called him earlier to ask him, did he want to put something on this game here. So I know you're not going
to because Cam, we already have something on this series because he went and stuck your neck out, put your neck in the guillotine, and you got 2 games to see if the blade comes down or not. It's 3/4 of the way down, and it's sharp.
Here we go. So this is that's all of these series are.
You want to double down on it, Cam? Is Toronto going to win this series?
No. We're I get
you're safe. You're safe where you're You safe where you're at, Cam.
I'm leaving this one alone. This is a great one to enjoy. This is a great one to enjoy, though.
I'll double down on it if you want to, Cam. I know you don't want to, but if you did, I would double down.
All right, let's. I mean, we buried the lead right now. We shame on you for letting us for allowing this to happen. We buried the lead. The Boston Celtics came out of nowhere. Actually, I remember saying, not early in the season, probably the second or third month. Give it some time, maybe around Christmas, January. They weren't really clicking. They were like almost disappointing. They're on my most disappointing list. And then a few player meetings, a couple of meetings with a couple of meetings with Udoka. They start making things happen. They start the whole culture strain. They start playing defense. They start showing effort on the defensive side of the ball. The guy who actually called the team out and saying this team isn't going to do anything until Jaylen Brown and Tatum learn how to lead the team and learn how to pass the ball. The guy who said that, there was no hustle. There was no him in the hall, no hustle and bustle. The guy fell in line, and they start playing as a team, as a unit, and we see the fruitions of what's going on. The Boston Celtics, the Nets, we know we're in shambles. We're going to talk about your Nets side of the ball. Your boy Kyrie has called himself a team.
You don't call them my Nets. You never call them my Nets because I've never been on their side. So.
We're gonna talk about that side of the ball, but let's give the Celtics some love. I mean, I personally thought since the acquisition of the point guard White from San Antonio, I thought that allowed everybody to kind of move into their positions. Then Brown and Tatum didn't have to handle the ball as much. They actually start running with White and the defensive player of the year, my man Marcus Smart.
Sure.
And Marcus Smart, who's a game, who he was not a point guard. He was a kind of a wild, streaky shooting 2 guard in college. He came in the league, started playing solid defense, then became a kind of a morphed into the point guard because they needed somebody to handle the ball and to score when the opportunity presented itself. He showed he could do that in multiple fashions. He became a asset to this team. Marcus Smart became a real deal baller. So, what do you think about the Boston Celtics? Again, we're going to get into the net side of the story here in a second, but let's talk about the Celtics. What have you seen from the Celtics? Talking about the growth you have seen and the production that they've shown you.
Hey Cam, fantastic victory for the Celtics, and what it gets them is in the NBA playoffs, the second round, and the defending NBA champions, the Milwaukee Bucks.
I mean, you rather win. You rather have that crack your crack at the NBA champions than not. So,
No, yeah, good win for them. And the way they beat the snot piss out of the Brooklyn Nets, it was never close. It was never in question. And those head cases over there in Brooklyn, man, they put their heads together and nothing happened.
now, fortunately, Cleveland, I get doing this little media thing. I was at Summer League a few years ago, as I mentioned when I talked to Ms. Ayer earlier. I got it at that same, not at the Summer League, but at the a couple weeks prior, that same summer, was Team USA, and got to talk their workouts, quasi workouts, warm ups, training, and I remember thinking back then that I thought Tatum was one of the smoothest players in the league. I couldn't think of a smoother player whose game was smoother. And I actually mentioned that on the show. Like, didn't remember I said he was one of the smoothest guys that he played. Now, having talked to him and getting a chance to interview him, I think is a complete dick. And yeah, I said it. I'm not a fan of him as a person, but his game was so silky smooth that I had to appreciate his game and kind of what he did. What he did. He's. I can't mention there's one player. There's one person. He's really the only person that comes to mind that I can say is I'm surprised what kind of personality he had. He showed. Like I talked to fucking Bill Laimbeer, and Bill Laimbeer. I was talking shit with Bill Laimbeer, who wasn't a who was
Great
more
interview.
cordial, who was more cordial than this little kid here.
Great
So
interview.
it was I I was really surprised by that, but he's the only person who I can say that really surprised me. Nonetheless, I have to give him the credit. I mean, he's balling out. Him and Jaylen Brown, they figured it out. They're balling out. And now let's talk about the Nets, man. KD, you know the story. Left OKC, went and win a couple championships in Golden State. One didn't really feel fulfilled with those championships in Golden State. Wanted to be won his own shit, right? Wanted somewhere of his own, somewhere he could call his own, right? He goes teams up with Kyrie Irving, of all players. He teams up with Kyrie Irving. Then him and Kyrie's chatting. He said, like, let's bring in who else could we get? Let's go get James Harden. They convinced James Harden to come to town, and then Kyrie don't fucking get the vaccination. And he's talking about in his fucking post game press conference. Um, well, things were stacked against us. I wasn't trying to make it all about me, but the way things were, they were what they were. Dude, you could have fixed this. We didn't have enough time in jail. We didn't have enough time to come together as a team. Boston, they had time to come together. Dude, you could address this. You could have got the shot, got the vaccinated, and been with the team, and not played half the season. You could address that. You personally could have done that if you want to be. I don't know. I mean, I don't know. He's eclipsed Ricky Waters as a poor teammate, the guy you don't want to play with. When Ricky Waters said for who, for what, do you remember that? Was he with the Eagles then, wasn't he? I think he was with the Eagles when he said for who, for what. Was he with the Eagles?
Yeah.
I mean, he's eclipsed Ricky Waters as a guy that I'd imagine being a piss poor teammate. And I can't, and I don't know why for the life of me, Boston, the players after they beat him. Well, I guess I could imagine why they hugged him and wanted to talk to him and dap him up because they just beat him. I just imagine that. But there was no. And the thing about the competition today, and the guys say, "Oh, these guys are pals now." There was no like disappointment. There was nobody who's pissed off last night. Kyrie was talking, he wasn't pissed off. KD's talking, he's a matter of fact, he wasn't pissed off. So what I saw with KD, and I like KD. I love KD, in fact. But KD is great. Man. Loved him at OKC. Thought his move to Golden State was kind of a soft move, second move, but he won a couple championships. He now is a two-time champion with two NBA Finals MVPs. It is not going to say how he got them. He got them right there. There at his house. He goes to in OKC. Type of person I am, and we're gonna stick around and make it work. It was him, Westbrook, and Harden. Obviously, they traded Harden. I'd have been pissed. I'd have been pissed at the franchise. But anyway, it's
Not
him.
trade him. They just didn't sign him, so he went.
They did trade. They traded him. Look, they traded him to Houston. They traded him.
They traded Houston.
They traded him to Houston the day the season started Thursday. They traded him on Tuesday, like a couple days before the season started.
I digress. I missed that. Sorry.
First time out, he puts up 45 in Houston. First game out. Like, what the fuck are you guys doing? Trade James Harden. What are you guys thinking about? Oh, the over $4 million, $5 million. He wanted 60. You guys offer him 54. Why? Or you guys offer him 56. Excuse me. We're hanging with this dude over $5 million. Come on, stop it. Anyway, KD. I thought KD. His problem. Westbrook had his issues. All right, Westbrook had his issues. Obviously, not knowing when to pass. His basketball IQ was low. But at the time, you're thinking, okay, these are fixable things that you see all these great things that he's doing. These minor things that really was costing the game are fixable. That's what you were thinking back in 2011-12, right? About Russell Westbrook. But KD, people was like, Westbrook needed to pass to KD. KD needed to come get the ball. KD didn't need to make himself accessible. One thing I didn't like is how they made KD would either stand on a block, stick his hand out, and wait for the pass. Or go to the elbow, stick his hand out, wait for the pass. Like, there was no movement. Like, KD should have been running around like Reggie Miller. Like, creating shots in that routine. Like, not like as Steph Curry, not similar to Steph Curry, more like Klay Thompson. Run around is he just keeps moving, he's going to find shots because he can score from anywhere. So it's not hard to get him a shot on the wing. It's not hard to get him a shot on the baseline. It's not hard going to be a shot to get him a shot on the elbow. It's not hard to get him a shot at the top of the key. Have him move around. Don't let him stand in one place. That isolation ball is simple. Move around. Run some plays. The same thing with my man, your point guard, Kyrie Irving. Like Joe Dumars and Isaiah Thomas. Joe Dumars didn't stand up. He wasn't a stand out by the three-pointer, catch and shoot guy. Joe Dumars had the ball and went to work. Joe Dumars got the ball and went to work. What was the other guy? That other guy, number 11, what was he doing? Moving around and cutting. He was getting cheap lay-ins by cutting and going to the hoop. Oh, you're going to focus on Dumars, who got 16 points in the second quarter? Now you're going to focus on who Joe Dumars, 5 for 8, 16, 12 points, 2 3-pointers. Okay, now you got to stand out on him. Kyrie can't do that. And now as soon as you come out on him, you got KD moving in the background. It doesn't seem that difficult. It does not seem, not to me anyway. What am I missing?
Well, first off, Kevin Durant is 6'11" and doesn't have to run around the court, round and round and round to get open like the aforementioned point guards anywhere from 6 foot to 6'3" to get a shot off. Nobody can block Kevin Durant's shot from anywhere on the court.
Well, we've seen that's not exactly true. We've seen that's not exactly true.
No, you can't put 2 and 3 people on it and make him uncomfortable and take a difficult shot. But just, yeah, man, you're asking him to do laps like Steph Curry. That's not what he does.
I have asking him to do some more movement like Reggie Miller.
Again, Reggie Miller is like 6'6". He's not 6'11", so
What's good? Shout
yeah,
out.
that's not what
What's
Kevin's
going
doing.
on in the NYC? Tell us what's the weather like in the NYC. You see, I'm outside in California. It's 66 degrees to be exact. And I got a little sweatshirt on. Okay, but what's the weather like in NYC?
It's 44 degrees. It's not that warm.
In NYC?
That's what I heard.
Oh, okay. Well, we'll get some live updates here in a minute. But anyway, you say that's not a good move for Katie. You want Katie to stand around and wait for the ball? Here, passing the ball in the spot, let her go to
I'm
work.
not saying
That's how you want
stand
it to
around and
happen.
wait for the ball. I'm just
That's what
saying
you
not.
just told
It's
me.
not. He doesn't have to
That's,
run around the court like he
what do you
can't get
want? How do you
open
get him
until
open?
he does laps around the court. I mean,
If
he's
you
six
got three
eleven,
guys
and it's
hanging on him and
different.
right here when he's at the elbow trying to get the ball,
Where are
what do
you
you?
going with this, dude? I mean, I don't understand. I don't understand where your point is. What is your point?
That's why. I'm just
That's
calling
why
out
they lost because KD didn't run around the court like Steph Curry.
because they was locking KD's ass down. Yes.
4
Why do you?
games
What
to
do you see?
0.
What do
It
you
is
see?
so it
What do
is
you
so
see?
hard to sweep another NBA team that the way they folded and collapsed is like inexcusable.
So okay. So is it who's it? I gotta blame KD. I gotta blame KD and
Blame
Kyrie for
KD
this.
if you want to.
I blame KD. It doesn't sound like you're putting any blame on these guys. You're passing. You're like
I mean, I'll put
it
some blame
happens.
on
That's what it
KD. I
sounds like.
mean,
It
he didn't
happened.
perform to his,
That's what it
peak
sounds like. You're just like it
ability, but
happened.
at the same time, he was carrying this team for how many? For the entire season, basically.
He was out for 6 months. What are you talking? He wasn't carrying these out for a time. What are you talking about? He's out 6 months. That's why they got a 7
Well,
seed.
when he was there, he was carrying them. Yes or
Oh
no?
my good man.
No.
It sounds like you're passing. You're
Very.
passing this shit. You're passing this on. You're like you expecting. So your boy Kyrie, you want to put? Are you blaming Kyrie or you
Hey
and Kyrie?
man,
You and Kyrie cool?
me and Riri ain't cool no more.
Oh, you guys
Me,
ain't cool no more.
me
Oh,
and
so
Riri ain't cool no more.
you didn't talk to him about his press conference?
Me and Riri ain't cool no more. No.
Man, yeah. Where do you go with these? Where do you go with these guys?
Man, because they're so talented, you try and run that back, but it ain't gonna work. So you just keep throwing good money after bad. I'm sorry, bad money after good.
So you're looking for Joe Harris to come back, Ben Simmons to come back healthy? You think they could be a
Oh
totally
man, is
different?
Ben Simmons gonna play next year?
I'm asking you. I'm trying to. What do you do
How
with
would
these
I know
guys?
that?
I mean,
Asking me if Ben Simmons is gonna play next year. I
at least he
don't
was on
know.
the sidelines.
I
I
mean,
mean, at least he
that's the
was on
same
the
way I was
sidelines.
asking you. Is Kawhi Leonard gonna play next year? You don't know.
Um, he's not a Husky fan. He claims he went to the Montlake. I don't know that he went to Montlake, Sheree. I don't know that he went to Montlake. He Cleveland. She's talking about your Husky shirt on. You got Huskies on? You repping the Huskies? I'm not sure he went to Montlake, Sheree. I'm not sure. All I see is a paraphernalia. I don't see no degree hanging in the background.
Oh man, it's
All I
everywhere.
hear,
It's everywhere, man. Where I gotta pull it from? You want to grab the helmet or the football or what do you want me to do?
uh, I mean, what do you want to do with what do you want to do with the Nets? KD, Kyrie, are you going to give Kyrie the max
Oh, there's
deal?
nothing you can do
Are you
but
giving
run
Kyrie
it
the max
back
deal?
again. But you're just gonna be disappointed.
Are you giving Kyrie the max deal?
Yeah.
Yes.
The Nets will. Yeah.
I'm with Stephen A. I'm with Stephen A. Get that nigga a 1-year contract.
But they're not gonna do that. You can't do that.
You can't give him only 1 year with a team up. Give him a 2-year deal with a team option.
No, it's just. Does this sound like the Jacksonville Jaguars to you, man? This is not the NFL.
Hey, we give me here's 30 mil, 30 mil right here.
I've
30
already
mil,
hit all of the plateaus
30 mil.
that you need to max me out. So max me out so I will go to sleep. And now there's no COVID, so I'll get all my cheese and we'll be cool.
Oh, you think
now? Will you win a championship? No, but I mean,
is he gonna take a month off for his birthday in November? I mean, is he gonna take a month off?
You see, Cam, you're asking that question about a superstar you shouldn't be asking. Would you be asking that question about Kobe Bryant?
I know I don't have that to worry.
That's a question about Tim Duncan.
That's a worry I don't have
Would you be
with those
asking that
guys.
question about Michael Jordan? would
That's the
you
worry.
be
I don't
asking
have
the
no
question
concerns.
about the guy you want to keep, talking shit about, Isaiah Thomas? Like, no,
That's a
they'll be
problem. I don't
there.
have those guys. They'll be there. I know they'll be there.
Yeah.
But I know they would have sacrificed and took one for the team and went ahead and saw
Okay.
Dr.
Well,
Fauci.
your
Saw
guess is as
Dr.
good as
Fauci.
mine with
I
Kyrie.
know
I
they
don't
would have saw
know.
Dr. Fauci and been
Yeah,
okay.
it sounds like you're a little bit concerned about his commitment to the
Oh,
game.
very much. Oh, you are too. You just don't want to say it. That's exactly what I'm
I'm not
asking
committed to
you.
Kyrie, so I mean, what difference does it make to me?
Oh, okay. See, there we go. We're talking about basketball. As the Nets fan, as a Nets front end manager, are you committed to Kyrie? Do you want to commit to Kyrie? That's what we're
You
talking
have to
about.
commit to
Do we
Kyrie
want
because
to
KD
commit?
won't commit otherwise. I mean,
KD's
he'll
already committed.
play. He's
KD's already
already under
signed.
contract. I mean, he'll
Yes.
play, but no. You want to keep your superstar happy, and if it
Boy.
means your dysfunctional other part of that, you'll keep him.
So I asked you the other night. I asked you last week, in fact, who's going to have the breakout playoff season?
Who did I say, Cam?
You didn't say Brandon Ingram. Who'd you say, Cleveland? We're going to have to go. You didn't say Brandon Ingram. Who'd you say, Cleveland? Because I would have put that down. What about Brandon Ingram and these Pelicans, man? Are they're shocking all? Now, I know you didn't want to give the Suns any credit anyway. You didn't want to give them no credit last year for doing what they're doing, had the best record in the league. They come back and do it again. You don't want to give them no credit this year. Oh, Booker, he's okay. He had a good season. Booker got hurt. And he's like, yeah, he's exactly what I expected. I know that's what you're thinking. Chris Paul playing a great game, won every 4 games, and that leaves it open for the New Orleans Pelicans. Go ahead and talk about them Pelicans.
Pelicans is cool. I mean, they threw some punches, some jabs. We'll see if they can, win in the Smoothie King Arena. And Brandon's playing all right. He's
All
playing pretty
right.
good. He's playing pretty good.
All right.
CJ's
He's
giving some
averaging 30
leadership.
points a game.
But who did I say was going to be the breakout player of this playoffs, man? Who has broke out?
Well,
You don't take my words and then try and twist them and throw them on somebody else that don't deserve it. Who did I say was the breakout player to look at?
We're gonna get to Ant-Man here.
Okay, well then why you asking the question? And then question, why don't you answer the question?
We're gonna get to Ant-Man here in a minute.
And that's a horrible nickname. They gotta find something else. Ant-Man's not gonna work.
I mean, Ant. They probably call him Ant. So Ant-Man doing his thing out there. No. He's a grown ass man.
He deserves better than Ant-Man.
Brandon Ingram. So who's having the? Like I said, we're gonna get to Anthony Carter here in a minute. But is he having a better playoff than Brandon Ingram? Brandon Ingram's doing this against a number 1 team. I guess the Grizzlies is number 2 team. I mean, who else? You can't do it better against a much better team.
Yeah, I believe so, Cam. I mean, Brandon Ingram is doing some solid things, and I mean, putting up, really big numbers. But I mean, for real, it's Anthony Edwards is the breakout player of this playoffs.
That's it. Yeah. You did say Anthony Edwards was going to break it out, but I think Brandon Ingram, man, has been more solid. Well, shit. I was going to ask you who has a better chance of winning their series. Now they're both 3-2. They're both going home for Game 6. A chance to push to
the
to
Minnesota
a game
Timberwolves have a better chance of winning their playoff series. That the Pelicans are playing against the Phoenix Suns, and if Devin Booker ever steps foot on the court for 5 minutes, it's a wrap.
He's done for 2 weeks. He's done for 2 weeks.
I thought I saw some say he might come back for 6. I don't know.
No, he's done for 2 weeks. So he's done all of this series.
So okay, well then, hey man. Those guys in New Orleans can throw haymakers, but so what, man?
You don't think that you don't think they got enough, huh? So the Timberwolves and your boy Anthony Edwards.
Yeah.
along with I'm not a fan of the Timberwolves, to be honest with you.
They're not a team to be a fan of, Cam. I mean, they're an AAU team gone wrong, right?
You
And
think I'm
the
wrong.
coach doesn't
That's a
know
good point.
when or if to reel him back in, right? I mean, you're up by 30, you lose. You're up
Uh,
by 9 with like 2 minutes left, you lose. I mean, it's like, God, this should be over with.
he said the AAU team go wrong, and your boy Carl Anthony Towns leading the pack.
Leading the pack.
This
Yeah.
guy, man, I'm done with this guy.
Jimmy was too rough with him. Patrick Beverly is just enough playful and not really to be taken serious
No, Patrick Beverly
to,
isn't good enough
to
to
kind of give him
dominate
that
those guys.
mindset.
That's what Patrick Beverly isn't good enough to dominate those guys in practice. That's what that is. He's not as good as what you call it.
As Jimmy Butler, yeah, no,
Jimmy
he's
Butler.
not. He's not.
As
He's not.
so when he come in there, when he come in there talking stuff, they're gonna block his shot. Oh man, I'm just trying to toughen you guys up. That's what you're gonna tell the guy.
Yeah,
Jimmy
Jimmy Big
Butler
brother is not as good as you. I think. Yeah,
Jimmy Butler's coming in there to come around with a different mind state. So
and then Hayes be too rough on me. Yeah, he's heavy-handed and he's got to go. Yeah,
man, they got your boy D'Angelo. You guys traded him. Who's good? Who has talent?
Do not ever say your boy and D'Angelo in the same sentence because that's not a thing.
Oh, that's not your guy.
No.
So he's good. He has the skills and the talent to be a great player. He just doesn't know how to play basketball.
Yeah,
and he just hasn't matured. He has a physical raw talent to play the game at an elite level, but clearly somewhere along the line hasn't learned the X's and O's of the game, and that's amazing. Like what the hell are you doing in the gym for 6 hours a day? How have you not learned this basketball game?
It's AAU training.
So they have the talent, him, Carl Anthony Towns, and now they got Anthony Edwards, who's going to somebody's going to be cut on that team because they're not long for those. That mix is not good enough. Anthony Edwards is going to get fed up, and he's like a bull in a china shop with these little China dolls running around there. He gonna wreck some shop, especially he get a little bit more Pat Beverly in him. Oh boy, he gonna be wrecking shop. So they're gonna have to find somebody that can kind of monitor, curtail that behavior on the court because he's about to be a force.
Starting to feel some Zach Randolph, aren't you? You're starting to feel some Zach Randolph.
He's gonna be a lot better than Zach, bro.
No, but I mean that attitude, that mindset.
This might be spent. This might be spent. I hate to put him in this category, but this might be turned into a J.R. Ryder situation where there's nobody on any team who might be able to do anything with this guy. And I don't know that he has that personality.
Wow, that's weird. You went to that comparison. Where you going with that?
I'm just saying he's going to be a loose cannon, and if he gets the wrong training around Carl Anthony Towns, around D'Angelo,
no, he's already the best player on their team. Cam, this is like 2 years into it. He's not even 21 years old.
He wasn't there last year, was he?
Yeah, it's his second year.
This is the second year. Yeah,
somebody's the best player on their team.
I agree with
he's
you.
He's already looking for other.
What I'm saying is if they want to keep him, they need to get rid of somebody on that team because they don't want this bad attitude character rubbing off on him.
But that's what I'm saying. Where's the bad attitude?
Carl Anthony Towns and D'Angelo Russell. It's not even a bad attitude.
Oh, you're talking about the softies on the other side.
Low basketball IQ.
They've already it's new ownership. That's interesting to bring into all this, right? It's A-Rod, running the ship.
Okay.
So, former professional athlete, understands how professional athletes work a little bit different than other owners.
Okay.
But is he going to get rid of Carl and D'Angelo to keep Anthony, or is Anthony getting the heave?
Well, if they make the decision to get rid of Anthony, this is our best tool to get as much as we can from him. I mean, they're just going to be wallowing in this mediocrity for.
Well, I mean, you know what I'm saying?
perpetuity.
It's like, what are you gonna do? You have to get either veteran leadership or you have to get as much for him
No,
while he's at
I
his
think they got the
most
veteran
valuable.
leader. I think they got it the veteran leadership they need. I'm getting rid of Anthony.
Veteran leadership from where? Who's ever
I'm
done
good with
anything
Pat.
over there?
I'm telling you, I'm good with Pat on the team, bro. You see the fire that Pat put on this team, bro. I'm saying, yeah, exactly what Deontay Jones was did when I talked to him when I brought up Pat Beverly about a month ago. He's like, "Who's Pat Beverly? Who's this guy?" Bro, you don't tell
Had a
me
conversation with my dude from Cleveland, and I mean, we laughed for 10 minutes, man. We were
you
talking about Patrick Beverly winning that game over the Clippers, and we were like, man, Patrick Beverly will give you so much energy and at that frenetic pace and that attitude that he will have you thinking he's the reason that your team wins the playoffs. 9 points, 3 rebounds, and 2 assists. He'll have
Now,
you
so
thinking
listen, look. I'm
he's
gonna
the
put it like this.
reason
I'm gonna tell you.
that
I'm gonna tell you.
you succeed or
Cleveland,
fail.
Cleveland. He ain't the reason.
And you don't want to see.
I'm not
Come on, man.
telling you he's
You
the
don't want to
reason.
surround Anthony Edwards with any better talent than Patrick Beverly.
No, that's not at all what I said, Cleveland. You're missing what I said.
Yes, you did.
You know what I said? No, he's not the one to go. He's not who I'm going to first. Is what I said. He's
There
not
is
the
no
one.
one on that team that you can go to that can tell Anthony Edwards anything about being a champion. No one.
Oh well, I understand. I understand that. I got
No
that.
one
Yeah,
on
we
that team
agree.
that
Yeah,
can even tell you
I
about
agree.
how
I'm
to
not
get
arguing
better
it. That's
or
not the.
improve your
That's not the.
game.
That's not the. I disagree with that. That's not the what I'm trying
You
to tell you.
disagree with that? Who on his team is
Cleveland,
going
come
to
on, stop it,
pull him
Cleveland.
aside
It's
and say,
already
"Hey, this is how
evident,
you
bro.
get better"?
Cleveland, it's already evident. They've won 2 games not because of anything that Anthony Edwards, or excuse me, not anything that Karl Anthony Towns or that D'Angelo Russell has brought to that team. That's not why they won 2 games and they're a game away from tying up the series. That's not where they're a game away. They're playing with some sense of urgency, some heart and conviction, aside from making the bonehead mistakes that they typically make. That's why, which they could be if they weren't making these certain mistakes, they could be won the series.
Cam, here's what I hope. I hope that Anthony Edwards does not make the Kevin Garnett mistake.
And
And
stay
Kevin
there.
Garnett has already laid out the blueprint to like, wow, I'm looking around here. It doesn't look cool. It's time for me to move locations and go somewhere else where I could be more successful, a champion, if you will. It won't be in Minnesota because he played with, at present, Karl Anthony Towns and D'Angelo Russell. And I don't think the Timberwolves have any uh, inkling or indication that they're going to trade either one of those two players. So he'll have to be the one to go.
See, so
Might as well trade him
that's
while he has the
see,
biggest upside that he will ever
that's
have.
that big market fan coming out in you. That's that Los Angeles Laker, that New York Yankee fan.
Or stay there for 9-10 years, man,
That's what that's coming out in you.
with Patrick Beverly as your mentor.
See, you got jokes now, and that's not you try to.
Let Patrick Beverly show you the way to a
That's
championship.
not even what I'm trying to
Greatness.
say. That's not even what I'm trying to say, and you know that. But you're trying to confuse the fans now with some Patrick Beverly is the
No,
goddess of all
no.
God now. That's not
I
what I'm
just said
telling
he
you.
needed to go to a team with veteran leadership, and you threw Patrick Beverly at me.
I said because Patrick Beverly has provided some veteran leadership on that team. Has he not? Has he not been a major factor in
He
the
can
most
show
of
you how
that
to
process?
get the most of your talent when you have no talent.
That's all I'm asking.
Not when you're the number one
is
pick
some
in the
leadership.
draft
That sounds
and you're
like some
going for
leadership.
38 points in your first playoff game. That's not the dude to listen to.
Patrick Beverly. Anyway, they need.
I don't know. I'm gonna calm down, man. Like this is a ridiculous conversation. Patrick Beverly cannot be your mentor, man. When you have that much talent.
You have what I was saying twisted up. Obviously they need to get better talent around them. But Patrick Beverly is not the first guy I'm going to. I'm trying to trade Carl Anthony Towns to see what I can get for him, and then I'm trading.
They already signed Carl, and they already traded Jimmy instead of Carl. So that's not gonna happen.
Okay, then Jimmy was older. I would have made that move too. That would have made, but Carl and Anthony, right? Right?
Man, let's moving right along, man.
Carl and Anthony, yeah, exactly. Now he stopped all that BS.
This is not your lane, my dude. But let's go to the next.
How you tell me what the NBA is not my lane? Is that what you're trying to tell me?
It's not your lane, man.
The NBA is not my lane?
No,
is that what you're telling me?
It is not.
Oh, Cleveland, come on now. Come on, where are we at?
It's not your lane, man.
Where are we at now?
It's your second best lane, man. This is where I am Mario Andretti. So let's just continue to go on.
I haven't seen that yet.
I'm Lewis Hamilton of the NBA, man. You're just kind of whatever. You're telling me that Carl Anthony Towns is anyways.
Is what? Carl Anthony Towns is trade bait. That's what I'm telling you. He's trade bait on that team. Yes, he's trade bait. And all season he's getting traded. If I were A-Rod or anything had anyone close to A-Rod.
Move right along to the next series we're talking about.
Warriors and the Nuggets.
Mm-hmm.
Are the Nuggets done tonight?
Yes.
Is it? Wraps it up? They're done, Dunsky?
Yes.
So we get the Warriors. So that means we get the Warriors and the Jazz and the Mavericks. They play tomorrow, I guess, right?
No, I believe we get the Warriors and the winner of the Grizzlies Timberwolves series.
3-6 play. Okay. Ooh. Yeah, the Warriors. That's gonna be another great can't miss series. Grizzlies versus Warriors. That's gonna be another.
Grizzlies haven't won that series yet, my dude. But yeah, whoever they get, it will be interesting for like 2 games.
Do you have Minnesota come back and winning that game?
That series?
In that series, yeah. You Minnesota come back and win?
Depends on what Anthony Edwards is capable of doing.
I mean, are you trying to put something on it right now, or
no? We started this whole series saying it was an AAU tournament game, and we had no idea what was going to happen. So why would I put something on it?
Because you're saying there's still life happening. You see, Minnesota still has life in this series.
They're going back to Minnesota down what?
A 1 game,
2-3.
Yep, they're down.
You don't think they win a game at home and force a game 7 where anything can happen?
They can.
You have no idea what's going to happen in this series. So stop trying to predict or even bait me into trying to commit to a side.
That's all I'm trying to do is bait you into
okay, all right. At the Rucker, my dude, you don't know what the fuck is going to happen. Why are you trying to? You're baiting me to some nonsense, man. No. You have no idea what's going to happen in here.
Yeah, you're right. Absolutely, we do not. Nobody knows. We're all going to be tuned in though to see what happens between Minnesota and Grizzlies, and we're going to get into that John Moran dunk here in a minute in his athleticism. We're going to talk about that. So we have some people saying and claiming that's the dunk, the greatest dunk of all time. Some people are claiming that's the greatest dunk of all time. Some people are saying that's the greatest dunk of the NBA playoffs, which conjured up an idea. We're going to have to have that. I have that.
I would agree with that one.
It's the greatest dunk of the NBA playoffs
of this season, for sure.
Well, this season, yeah. Come on, we're 5 games into the season. Would you really of this season? Yes, absolutely. But of the playoffs overall, all NBA playoffs ever?
Oh, I'm not going to go back through every single dunk that I've ever seen. I don't know. Just without getting too far into it, it's top 5, no doubt.
Top 5 what?
Greatest dunks in a playoff game you've ever seen. It's top 5 for sure.
Top 5 in the playoff games. Hold that thought, Mr. Cleveland. We're going to get to that, and I think already it can't be no better than 7 or 8, in my opinion. But we're going to talk about that. The Warriors and the Nuggets. You already said the Warriors are going to win the series tonight. What about the Mavericks and the Jazz? Do you believe more in Bronson and Luca or Mitchell and Gobert?
Oh man, Bronson and Luca, man, Mitchell and Gobert, man. I'm so sorry Quinn is having to deal with those kind of players, man. That was
You
going
could have
on.
you could have probably said me and Luca though, right? You probably believe better in me and Luca better than Gobert and Mitchell, right?
I mean, I didn't even know what to say about that series, man. It is so embarrassing that Utah is not just manhandling those guys, especially with 2 games without Luca. No,
Yes, I agree. I
horrible.
agree. Yes, I agree. It's such a bad look, and I said that when was actually telling Dallas media at the game. When I was at it is completely 100% bad look if Utah Jazz does not win every game Luka doesn't play, and they got beat. Shame on them. So that's that, man. That's the NBA playoffs, Cleveland. We're still, uh, um, we're still counting on the Sixers, and I'm still counting on the Sixers on my revised pick to make it to the finals. Although I did pick against them to win round one. Looks like they're gonna prove me wrong and win that series. Cleveland, your revised pick was Golden State and the Sixers. So you still feeling comfortable with that pick? Yeah, you are. Okay, cool. Let's take a hot break, fans. When we come back, man, we're going to talk about some NFL topics. We got the NFL to talk about. We want to know, Cleveland, are you guys going with Baker Mayfield? Or are you going to go with your number 9 draft pick and draft a quarterback? What are you guys going to do? So we're going to get to what the Seahawks want to do. We'll also talk about some of the players that's moving around. Do the Raiders get rid of Darren Waller, Cleveland? If you're the Raiders, do you trade Darren Waller? Or do you keep him mixed in that combination of Waller, Adams, and now Carr? Now that has to be one of the most formidable trios. Is it a formidable trio? They're still behind Mahomes and whoever he has, right? Kitna or Mahomes, Kelsey, and who do you want to say who's on the outside now? I guess that does take them another back because they don't even have a fill in, do they?
Not as of yet.
Well, we're gonna talk about the NFL, but there's a little questions, Cleveland, for you to ponder. We're gonna take a little quick break, and come back to you. We're gonna have an NFL conversation, Mr. Cleveland. So let's take a little break real quick. What's good? What's good? What's good, fans? Thank you guys for tuning in. The Voice of the Fans podcast. As you know, this is week 188 of the Voice of the Fans podcast. Of, um, April 27th. We got the draft tomorrow. You guys, who should be drafted tomorrow? I haven't even done a lot of draft homework. We're gonna see if what Cleveland has in store. But who should be number one, fans? If you're listening in, type in who should be number one in the NFL draft tomorrow. My Miami Dolphins, they got Tyreek Hill, so we don't have a draft pick till I think it's fourth round. So I'll be at the Chargers draft tomorrow. Check out the Chargers. Check me out. I'll be broadcasting. Some of it will be live, casting either live on Instagram or live on my YouTube page, Voice of the Fans on YouTube. Check it out tomorrow, live at the Los Angeles Chargers Draft Fest.
Where you gonna be at, Cam?
Los Angeles Chargers Draft Fest tomorrow. Get some
Oh, you
behind
get
the
the
scenes.
main. You get
Get
the
some.
main tomorrow.
Get some. We're gonna get to
Yeah,
tomorrow
you
and get
you
some.
you you rock my you rock the TOU. You go rock at 13?
I said Chargers tomorrow. I'm working. It's a work event. I'll be working tomorrow at the event. So yeah, tomorrow, Jeff Fresh. I'm just to letting the fans know what's going down. To follow me, make sure you guys follow me as well. Make sure you follow the YouTube, the Voice of the Fans. Excuse me, at underscore Voice of the Fans on Twitter. That's at underscore Voice of the Fans on Twitter. Make sure you guys are following that. Share the word. We'd love to give you guys fresh content. Now, always breaking down the show and getting Cleavon and his ridiculous thoughts and retweeting them on the page. So follow me. Make sure you follow me, please, at underscore Voice of the Fans on Twitter. Please make sure you follow. Give us a follow. Give us a like. Thank you guys actually for tuning into the show. As always, we really appreciate it, Cleveland. So again, once again, make sure you guys follow us. It's at underscore Voice of the Fans. That's our new Twitter page that we want to be interactive with you guys, but we only can be interactive if you guys interact with us. You know what I'm saying? So you got to interact with us and get to the page for whatever reason. I can't find the page on my. There we go. Voice of the Fans right there. What's good? What's good with you guys? Please interact with the show. Have you seen the video? Two technical completing passes, Cleveland.
Of
Video
course, I've
two.
seen the videos.
Okay, I'm just saying. I mean,
It's Tua Tagovailoa. It's the quarterback of the Miami Dolphins.
yeah, but yeah, it could be just a waste of time for some people. But Tua completing his little 12-yard routes to Tyreek Hill. I tell you what, if if he's averaging 12 yards route, Tua's lost his job next year. If he's averaging 12 yards a catch, Tua will be losing his job. Okay, Tyreek Hill, that is. So Cleveland, we got as always. I mean, obviously we have the draft tomorrow. And just gonna instead of getting to breaking it down and predicting who the picks what the picks will be as we have done before, let me just get some different storylines from you, kind of see what you recall about the NFL draft. Okay, excuse me, we're down here live right off the what is this Wilshire and Flower I'm on right now. So come holler at me. Well, I'm at the bar Wilshire and Flower if you're down here downtown Los Angeles. Um, Cleavon, what's the worst draft story? Is it Laramie Tunzel or is it Aaron Rodgers? Which is the worst draft story, do you believe?
Oh, Larry Tunsil's a worse story.
Was it? Was he a top 5 player before that happened? I mean, he fell to 13, which is not a death sentence.
Yeah, he was a top 5 player before that.
Larry Tunzel was the worst. Nothing, obviously. I think the players are just too well educated nowadays to have anything like this happen, right? Someone like this happens to you.
No, I mean they can still not understand the way social media works and do something hours before the draft that
But if something like
was their
this
stop.
happens, if something like what happened to Larry Tunsil that happened today, I mean, you're an idiot for that happening, right?
You're just young. You're just young and naive and caught up in the moment.
Okay, fair enough. Any draft day trades that kind of you remember, kind of touch a nerve with you, or that you recall? What are the best draft day trades? I'm sure there were some. I'm not, I don't think. I don't think your guy from the Cowboys was traded on draft day. I think that happened well before the draft. Herschel
Yeah,
Walker.
that's more of a basketball thing. I can't think of any
Herschel Walker was traded 7 picks for the draft. I mean, that wasn't a draft day trade, but obviously that draft rebuilt the Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah, I mean that's what I'm saying. Like in football, you don't typically draft a player and then trade them to another team and then get a different player
or
or
not even that, but
additional
just
picks.
not even that. Just a trade that happened. I can't recall a trade that happened on draft day. I mean, obviously they have happened. But, you know, Tannehill goes to the Texans for a lineman. I don't, whatever. I don't know. those trades happening specifically on draft day. But nonetheless, it was just something I was just throwing out there just because we got the draft coming up. But tell me, what do you think happened to Baker Mayfield, man? He hasn't found a job. You think they're gonna wait after he'll get signed next week? After the NFL went through their whole free agency session and then the draft, and now he's gonna get picked up and signed with the undrafted free agents.
Yes.
Wow. And last year he was the starting quarterback of the Cleveland Browns, who arguably had all the talent to go to the Super Bowl.
Fought the Super Bowl representative from the AFC, tooth and nail on, down to the end. Season before.
All right. So you don't. Are you Pete Carroll? Have you talked to Pete or John? Are you guys? Did you guys offer
Pete and John don't
4,
talk.
5, or 7?
Pete and John don't talk to people around this time. You know that, Cam. They only talk to other, team general managers.
Would you offer a 4, 5, or 7 for Baker Mayfield, or 4, 5, and a 7? Would you do that?
No.
You would not.
A 4 or 5 and a 7? No.
A 4, 5, and a 7. You would not do that. Would you offer a 4 and a 5 for Baker? Baker Mayfield's not worth a 4th or 5th round pick.
You know what? Try out.
He can come try. You know what? I'm giving Cleveland. If I'm the Dolphins, I'm giving Cleveland a 4th round pick. We'll take Baker. Because if this guy doesn't work out and Teddy doesn't work out, we might have a spot for Baker.
3 quarterback roster. Yeah, that's wise, Cam.
I mean, it's gonna be 2 quarterbacks by week 6, so they're gonna weed themselves out. What does success look like for Matt Ryan and the Colts? What's a good season? Playoffs? Nothing less?
Nothing less.
Robert Quinn wants to stay in Chicago. Should they keep him? Or do they pay him, or are you guys gonna be frugal? Would you think Chicago's gonna be frugal like the Seahawks and let him go test the market?
He's gonna test the market.
Okay. What anything surprising or that you're expecting in the draft tomorrow? What would you ideally? You want Sauce over Stingley? I've been looking at them both, man. I actually did a little research this week. Stingley he looked better than Sauce, bro. And he got lineage.
It's hard, man. I like the way Sauce plays. I like the way Sauce plays, man. I mean, Stingley is very instinctive and fluid in his movements, and he understands the game and has been seasoned against better opposition either in practice or in the SEC. So, unfortunately, COVID and some injuries have kind of derailed what he's been able to showcase. But I like the Sauce tape, man. That dude is coming to cover, man. So initially, when I was looking at the draft, the mock drafts, Sauce had fallen all the way to 9, and then there wasn't really any debate about it. But all of the mock drafts I've seen in recent days has shown that Sauce will be gone, and like 90% have the Seahawks taking Darryl Stingley Jr., which I would not be opposed to. I just thought that at the time that we were talking previously, that they would be able to trade the 9, trade back, and still get him. And it doesn't look like that's a situation that's going to happen either.
So talk to me, big dog. Talk to me. you've lived through, you grew up watching along with me, Kelly Stoffer at quarterback. You grew up watching Dan McGuire get every opportunity to fail, right? Broken nose, broken finger, every opportunity then he gets another chance. You grew up watching the Marcus Tuiasosopo. Is it, is, or was there another different one? Marvin or something.
No,
The first son. It wasn't Marcus. It wasn't Marcus. It was the first son, right? Marcus might be the fifth son, right? Nonetheless, you watch a lot of bums play quarterback for the Seattle Seahawks before you guys got lucky and the great Russell Wilson fell right into your laps in the third round. So you know what it's like to play with. So okay. So that does that make it okay then? Because you've seen some of that. Do you like Drew Lock? He isn't that bad, or what do you think? Why aren't you thinking they should move up and get a quarterback?
there's two reasons here, Cam. One is there is not a quarterback good enough to move up and get. The second is
Liberty, you can move up two spots and get Marcus, or yeah, from Liberty, the quarterback from. You can move up two spots, literally,
he's projected
literally
late
two spots.
teens, early 20s. So that's
He's
not
right there for you.
yeah, that's not a number 9 pick, man.
You can get a cornerback. You can get a quarterback. You can get a quarterback. He hopefully if you draft the right quarterback, he doesn't impact the right quarterback doesn't get challenged.
So to kind of get back to your question, yes, I feel like because of past experiences that Pete feels like, yeah, okay, Drew Lock, you're the guy for now. We're going to draft someone and we're going to draft someone with quite a bit of talent and quite a bit of drive and determination. So the job is here for you, until it's not.
So you think they're going to get Desmond Reader, Matt Corral, Sam Howell? You think one of those guys are the guy?
I think one of those guys is the guy that's going to come in the second round if they're available. If they're not, then Drew Lock will be the guy with not a lot of opposition. But we're not going to. I'm hoping we don't trade up or take Malik Willis with the number 9 pick. That's just not going to work, man. Not at 9.
Explain to me. I don't understand. Explain to me if you're one of the guys who say this is a quarterback league. Oh, we had a quarterback. Our quarterback hasn't got hurt for 9 seasons straight. Oh, it's special to have such a quarterback. Da, 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 da. That's you. That's
No,
you.
that's been me the entire Russell Wilson era. Yeah. Thank you
So
so much for pulling the curtain back and exposing me.
so why aren't you eager to get another quarterback instead of riding with Drew Lock? I don't get it. I don't understand how it's you rather draft a cornerback versus um, or do you think are you really thinking that magically somebody falls in that third round is where you draft a quarterback now? Because you
No,
got Russell in the third round. Are you thinking
no.
that the third round is now that's where you draft your quarterback? Well, I don't understand.
There's no one that's going to draft a quarterback before 18. I mean, there might be someone that picks one. I mean, Malik's
So
supposed
you
to go to the Steelers at like 20, unless something weird happens.
you would so right now you have the number one. Your number one is a 9, and you have number 40. You have number 41, 72, 109, 152, 153, and 229. So you would not give your fourth and fifth pick, your number one, your fourth, and your fifth pick to move up a couple slides.
One
To see
four.
if
Oh, come on, man. One,
well,
four, and five. No, I
you're
said
giving
no to
up.
4 and 5.
Yeah, well, you're giving up number one because if you move to number six, they're gonna want to have you. You know, they're gonna want that pick. They're moving down. You know what I mean? You're not gonna have the number six and the number one pick.
You must have, you know, looked at the Baker Mayfield market much differently than the Seahawks did, because so far no one is like, going out of their way to try and make that happen. So why would the Seattle Seahawks?
Well, nobody is. There's not a team kind of a
I
quarterback.
keep hearing he's going to end up in Carolina instead of Sam Darnold. I think that's his next destination.
And I hear Pittsburgh. So
Or
with your
maybe
second,
even Pittsburgh within the division. So then again, why are you trying to send him out here to the Pacific Northwest in the 206
because he's better
for a
than
first, a
Drew Lock.
fourth, and
No. See, I was saying trade the number one for the number
Lock
six.
is good enough to get us through next season if nothing else happens. That's the contingency plan. That's what it was with Matt Flynn when they drafted Russell Wilson. That's what it's going to be with Drew Lock.
So you're thinking, see, they're already thinking that this weekend it all changes. That's what you're thinking. That's exactly what he finally came out after minutes of badgering him. It finally came out what they're really thinking. They're
And you know what they're going to do, Cam? They're going to draft another quarterback in third round that's going to play 9 seasons in a row. They ain't going to miss games.
See,
and then you're going to be mad. You're going to be like, how they keep doing that? 18 years of quarterbacks and don't miss no starts. You'll be mad.
See what I'm saying? That's what they think. Okay, so
it's going to be Pickett
in the second round. So with the second pick, you're number 40 or 41. You get 40 and 41. I guess it don't matter. One of those picks, you're going to draft a quarterback.
Maybe. We're not sure yet.
Well, I'll be watching
picks
from
and
SoFi.
Trade back. You know how people.
I'll be watching from SoFi Stadium.
You know how John and Pete do, man. They trade back and trade back and trade back.
Okay, well, we'll see. We'll see what happens. Watch any USFL this weekend?
Try to.
You tried to. You turned it on for a minute. All right, Cleveland. Let's talk about this week in history. Let's keep the show going. This week in history, April 24, 1944, Cleveland. The United Negro College Fund was established. United Negro College Fund was established in 1944. 1971, April 28, Samuel Lee, Gravely was named the first black admiral in the United States Navy. That same day, April 28th, 1847, George B. Vashon was the first black to enter the the New York State Bar, become a lawyer. 1847. 1850, we have black lawyers. April 13, 1993, Reggie Jackson, you're more familiar with, was elected to the Hall of Fame. Now, will the Clippers' Reggie Jackson be ever elected to the NBA Hall of Fame? Oh, you don't want to answer that question? Why can't the Clippers get no love from you?
I didn't think it deserved a response. But
why can't the Clippers get no love?
You put him in the same breath with the other Reggie Jackson, who has a candy bar named after him and 5 World Series rings. So, yeah, it was kind of weird.
April 27, 1983, Nolan Ryan, then of the Houston Astros, broke a 55-year-old major league record by striking out 3,509 batters. 3,509 batters set a record back in 1983. I mean, we all got. I mean, that was a decent stat, right? But there's only one real true memory of Nolan Ryan, right?
Well, your memory as a brute will just be him beating up some guy that ran at him. But
What do you
but true
mean?
baseball fans will understand the Von Ryan Express won a World Series ring with the Miracle Mets, and then went on to win 5,000 strikeouts. Your thing will just be him whooping somebody's ass and have
Robert
that nerve and
Ventura.
audacity to run out at the mound at him, and just going. That's your Nolan Ryan memory, right? Just
That's most people's
that's you.
Nolan Ryan. That's
Yeah.
most people's Nolan Ryan memory.
Okay. Well,
Yeah.
me as a baseball aficionado, I realize a few other things about Nolan Ryan other
Aficionado.
than
Oh my goodness
you know.
gracious. Brittany Griner still held up. Are you a Russian aficionado? Can you talk to him? You speak Russian? You been working on your Russian?
I am so sorry that she got caught up in world circumstances. I mean, she would have been out months ago. Unfortunately, this is she's just a pawn in a very vicious game of political espionage. Sorry.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a bad time to be out there messing around. Jerry West has stopped the the BS about winning time, how they portrayed him on winning time. He wants a public apology. Do they owe Jerry West, the logo, a public apology for his depiction on winning time? Have you seen it? Are you watching it? Are you following it?
I didn't want to get into it because it just seems so hokey, and I didn't. No disrespect, because I like him in so many other movies. Uh, you know, see Riley, man. I just like him being a part of it. Is just like, where is this going, man? And then just kind of the feedback was like, it's entertaining. Yet, if you know the story a little bit too closely, then it's not really that entertaining. It just seems kind of buffoonish. And then Jerry West was I haven't seen it, but he's so irate. He's like, we can take this as the Supreme Court.
You gotta see it though.
He's like, you gotta
gotta see
stop
it.
talking all crazy about me.
You gotta see it, man. They got
You gotta
you
tone
gotta see
that
it. To
down.
show. I mean, they got. I mean, it's interesting. I know it's fiction. I know it's an entertainment. First and foremost, it's entertainment.
Yeah.
So they have Riley looking like the lowest form of. He's building up. He's building it now. Weeks later, he's building to Patrick Riley, but the way they had him start, like he was a substitute teacher, get ran over, used car salesman who nobody appreciated, and they just had him looking like really scum. They got Jerry West just looking like unhappy old man. Like you would think an old man with all this talent who did accomplish all these things is just unhappy. Nobody else can be this. They had him. They just had scenes of him like talking shit about them drafting Magic. It was like I wanted to ask Jerry West something about it. Like it was so bad. Like Jerry, have you seen this? What's your thoughts on this? But I know it got him looking like so bad. Like it's really a shame. I mean, really, he had a. It's
and then
entertainment.
I also had respect for HBO's response. It's like, hey man, we didn't say this was a documentary, man. So
Yeah,
you know,
yeah. And then none of the players like it. None of the players like it.
Yeah, and
We talked.
Magic blasted from the very beginning. Of course, coming out with his 4-part thing on Apple.
Well, that's what
So
I
it's
think.
like,
That's what
yeah,
I think I mean, he was against it because he had his own shit coming out. Have you seen his documentary?
have not had an opportunity to look at that. I plan to watch that before I watch The Winning Time.
So obviously, Magic's documentary was him speaking. It was more Last Dance ish.
Yeah,
Okay. But the other one is more of a entertaining TV show. You follow what I'm saying?
yeah.
It's the character. So
I definitely get the dichotomy, and
yeah.
unfortunately,
So what I say that to say, Winning Time is better. Is a better TV show,
oh wow,
but the Magic documentary obviously
you know
is
you're in LA,
authentic
right?
footage. Yeah, it's a better TV show. I mean, you don't get no. Anybody watching it will tell you that it's a better. Again, with it being an entertaining um, just an entertaining show. It's a better show than
But
Magic's
you're in LA, you
documentary.
can't really say that out loud in LA,
Oh
Cam.
well,
Yeah,
shit.
you
I
understand
mean,
that, right? You
you
can't
know,
talk
well,
about
I'm not.
Urban Magic Johnson
I'm.
like
I'm
that.
not. I'm not talking. What did I say negative about
You
Urban
said it
Magic
was a
Johnson?
better show. Urban's not going to take kindly to that, man.
Well, I think Urban got a lot more fish than me to worry about here.
Oh wow, okay.
He's
That's
big
what
time
I,
out
that's what I said about Steve Ballmer until my lights were out for 2 weeks.
here. So I saw
I had no
the
internet. It
Magic.
was crazy. Man, it's a rough time over here.
Magic got to find me. Have you seen any of the Man in the Mirror documentary?
See, that's where I was about to go. See, the timing of The Last Dance was such that people forget that when The Last Dance was must see TV, there was nothing else to
It was
watch.
the pandemic. Yeah, there was we weren't going nowhere. You
So
weren't going out.
they had run, Cam. I had watched NBA TV to the point that I was watching the ABA All Star game. I think it was in black and white in
Oh
1974.
wow,
By
they
the
were
time
getting
The
you.
Last Dance came on,
They were let me see if
oh
he
my
watches this.
God.
Let me see if he
Like,
watches this right here.
there's nothing else. So all these other shows are trying to replicate that success that can't be replicated, right? And plus it's Mike. And you know how people
Yeah,
feel about
yeah. I
King
mean, but
Charles.
that's Tom. I haven't seen none of the Man in the Mirror. Apparently, it's been an 8-part series
No,
that's almost over. I've not seen
no.
one of it.
Tom Brady is not that interesting, man. Is
Yeah,
he?
I don't know. I don't know. I'm just
Well,
asking.
clearly
I'm
not
not.
because you haven't watched
I
it.
haven't tuned into one. Not even wasting time to even see what time it comes on. I've not watched it.
Yeah,
No,
okay.
but
So
I
yeah.
know. I just saw it the other day. It's like
But yeah, Jeter's
this is
doing one, Brady's doing. I mean, everybody wants to do this long thing. It's like, dude,
yeah,
stop that.
yeah.
Stop that.
All right, man. Let's get to it, man. This has been a talk of the internet since last night. Today, everybody's giving their top 10. Where did John Morant's dunk rank amongst the best dunks in NBA playoff history?
I don't think I can name five better.
You can't name. Can you name one better?
I mean, I'm old, Cam. So rock the baby to sleep coming down the sideline will always be like the
What,
quintessential icing.
Dr. J over Cooper?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that will always be like how are
Uh,
you gonna dunk on a dude?
okay, I don't. I go John Morant. Michael Jordan over Patrick Ewing on the baseline. When he went
That wasn't even
baseline,
a playoff game, so that don't count.
that was a
So
playoff
next
game.
one,
It was playoff game.
who
It
was it?
was a playoff. It was. It was 91. Might have been the first round. I think it was a playoff game though. When he went baseline on Patrick Ewing. That wasn't better. You don't have that better than John Morant's dunk?
Nope,
Really?
absolutely not. Next
Where's that?
one.
Where does that rank? Are you kidding me? That's the best playoff dunk. That might be the best playoff dunk of ever. You must not seen the video. You must not know. You must not. Michael Jordan started to go around up court, saw John Starks. He reversed field. Patrick Ewing was there, and he went up and over Patrick Ewing. You don't remember that? Okay. What about Scottie Pippen over Patrick Ewing on a fast break, where he dunked on him and
That's
stepped
not
over
better
him?
than Jaw. No.
That was not better than Joe. What about Kobe Bryant, his reverse dunk? So you talking about Dr. J, when Dr. J rocked the baby and went over on a fast break, dunked on Michael Cooper. When Dr. J, his the iconic video of him going baseline and flew under the hoop, and on the other side of the hoop, flipped it up and it went in and bounced it off the glass, and it went in for the lay-in. Kobe Bryant dunked the ball. Kobe Bryant did the same shit, but dunked the ball. John wasn't better than that. No, absolutely not. You don't fix your mouth to say that. Ja wasn't better than that.
Bro.
You not
The
when,
way that you're coming at me, man, I'm like, maybe I'm not giving Jaws Dunk enough.
what do you mean?
I'm not hearing any example of like anything, that sounds better.
So what made the Jordan dunk over Patrick Ewing is that number one, Patrick Ewing was a shot blocker. Patrick Ewing went up to block his shot, and Jordan said still crammed it on him. John Morant's dunk, the guy stood there to take the charge, and he finessed his way around. He avoided the charge and cocked it back, and blammo, like absolutely amazing. Body control, absolutely amazing. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that dunk was trash, but to say the best dunk of playoff history, I don't think it was better than Jordan over. I don't think it was better than Jordan over Ewing, and it definitely wasn't better than um, Kobe's reverse dunk. Like, excuse me, fans. Yeah, I don't think it was. I don't think it was better than Kobe's baseline dunk. It was better than T Mac over Bradley, Sean Bradley. I mean Sean Bradley. What like he's a 7'6". He didn't get a chance to go up to dunk. It was probably better than that one. So I gave you two. I thought were better without question. The Scottie Pippen over Patrick Ewing. He didn't he get I think Scottie got Patrick twice. Like once he caught the break and dunked on him with nuts all in his face, and then another time he came down on him. So you don't have a you
I
can't
feel like you're
say
being desensitized just to perhaps the athleticism that you've been seeing over the last 7 to 10 years, that you're not really understanding what John Morant just did at 6'2" and really
I
throwing
mean
it down with a lot of
he jumped from the
authority and force.
no he
I'm not
jumped
I'm
from
not
the
quite sure what more style points you're looking for. I'm not quite sure what more of a an opportunity to showcase his athleticism you're looking for, my dude. I heard your
he
other dunks. I don't. Yeah.
he jumped from the from he he jumped from like a foot inside the dotted line. The guy still the guy standing there to take the charge instead of kind of trying to block the shot. If the guy tried to block it maybe and then Morant still just force and power over top of him, maybe that make the dunk look more impressive. But
Oh,
the
some
guy,
more aesthetic beauty to the. Okay, sure. Mhm.
I mean, but when he jumped from the dot line and then he sees the guy avoiding him, like trying to take the charge, so he avoids him, brings it back like behind his hip, right? And then swing through. And it looked like he tried to swing through with two hands to follow through with it. I mean, it was an incredible dunk. I just don't know if it was the best dunk ever.
We'll always be Michael Jordan fans. In some people's minds, it will. Nothing will ever
I just gave you Kobe.
surpass anything Michael Jordan does.
I
So,
just gave you Kobe. It wasn't
Michael
better than Kobe.
Jordan, Michael Jordan, ladies and gentlemen,
Oh boy, listen to this guy. It's not even like that. I just
ladies and
gave you
gentlemen,
Kobe.
Michael Jordan,
I gave you Kobe Bryant. I gave you
ladies and gentlemen, Michael Jordan.
Scottie Pippen. I gave you who else did I give you? T
And none
Mac.
of those are
I
better.
gave you T Mac. T Mac over Bradley. I don't think
I
that
might have to
was
look back and grab some Sean Kemp
our
footage, man,
lister.
just to
Our
find something
lister.
to be above those other dunks you mentioned. But no, I don't hear anything better than John so far.
Ooh, that's a tough one, fans. Let me know. Where am I wrong? And am I not giving John the appreciation that Cleveland says he
Mhm.
deserved? Hit me up at underscore voice of the fans. That's it. On Twitter at underscore voice of the fans. That's real simple. That's me. You'll find everything. You can live chat with the show. I'm checking it right now. Blake Griffin says he tweets about joining the Clippers next season. That got to be a joke. Um, that's the last little tweet I got. But at underscore voice of the fans on Twitter, hit us up. Where do you rank Ja Morant's dunk of all time NBA playoff dunks? Fans, we're going to collect that data. We'll bring it back to you next week. This week we're going to get into the CJ Ridley special and see what Cleveland has his money on this week. Cleveland, you want to talk to us?
Oh boy, my money this week will be on Trayvon Walker being the number one pick in the draft.
Trayvon Walker being number one pick in the draft, huh?
Mm.
So let me. I'm trying to see, fans, if it's even worth talking about. Oh no, they took another L today. If it's even worth talking about these bums. Took another L tonight.
Oh yeah, you can give me my 60 seconds, Playboy. We
No,
got to chit chat about this.
What's their record? I'm looking for the record or something.
Okay, well you'll find it. You'll find it soon enough. It's at top the American League West. Excuse me.
I don't know if that's where I'm gonna find them. I mean, I don't see nothing yet. All right, man. Go ahead, get your 60 seconds in of these 60 seconds of the Mariners minute.
Thanks, Cam. Since we last spoke, the Mariners have won 8 of their last 11 games. They have the pitcher with the lowest ERA in baseball, in Logan Gilbert. They have the player of the week in Ty France. They have the team with the best defense. And in addition, they are currently number one in the American League West. I'll leave it there.
Number one in the American League West. For how long they've held this position?
Since they've been there. I mean, I can't say they haven't been there for the entire season. You have to build yourself up to get there, but they're there.
They're tied with the Angels. They're tied with the Angels at 11-7.
Okay, well there you go. I didn't stutter, utter, or mutter, did I? I said what I said.
I mean, they're tied. They'll act like
okay, so they're in first place in the American League West. How is that any different from what I said?
I mean,
so that's the exact same thing that I just said.
This division is
in other words.
This division is putrid. This division is putrid. They got the Athletics at 9-9, and the Rangers at 6-12. I mean, if you're doing anything in this division, you
okay. So I'm sorry. Was this my session or your session to throw a bunch of nonsense in? I thought I had the 60 seconds. You asked me what the Mariners been doing, and all I said was,
and you left it off.
Top the American League West. They have the pitcher with the best ERA in baseball right now. They have the player of the week. They have a great defense
right now.
I mean, man.
He ain't been this passionate about the Mariners in 12 years.
Why are you trying to interject all of your nonsense into it, and you don't even know baseball?
I don't know. He went to I don't even know baseball. He's sensitive, folks. I talk about these darn Mariners. He get off.
I understand.
I mean,
give my 60 seconds and you try to interject some nonsense.
You said you were done. You had enough. You 55 seconds and thought their 11-2 record was going to have me saying.
Anyways, Mariners in first place.
Well, they're tied. They're tied. They're
okay,
tied.
We'll say that. So that's first place, right?
Well, let's be clear. They're not all alone in first place. Let's just make that clear. Anyway, fans, Cleveland, Shakur Stevenson this weekend. Oscar Valdez, who you got?
Shakur.
You got a knockout? Is it going the distance?
No, you know how them cats pity pat right about now. It'll go distance.
Shakur might get him, man. He might get him in 6 or 7, I think. We'll see. Hey, do you want to make any World Series predictions?
No, it's a little too early for that, Cam. Cam, only 20 games into a 162-game season. So, yeah, no World Series predictions just yet.
I mean, when do you want to wait till what the Fall Classic starts and then make your predictions?
No need to wait that long.
Gee whiz. I mean, we want to wait for the Yankees to go 115.
I mean, just more than 17, 18 games in a 162-game season.
Fans, here I got this quote for you guys that I want to leave in the show with. Dug this one up from a legendary football coach, If I told you that the hat, the fedora, Cleavon, what would you think?
Oh, Tom Landry.
Tom Landry is the man who said leadership is getting someone to do what they don't want to do to achieve what they want to achieve. That's leadership. One more time. Leadership is getting someone to do what they don't want to do to achieve what they want to achieve. That's leadership. That's coming from the legendary Tom Landry, Super Bowl champion, once over, legendary Cowboys coach. Cleveland, I want to thank you for tuning in, fans. I want to thank you for your participation in the show. Remember to subscribe to our podcast, fans. Make sure you tell a friend and tell a friend, and hit that like button. Uh, YouTube works funny on the algorithm, so if you leave a comment, hit that like button. It's going to elevate us in the algorithm. So make sure you leave a comment. Make sure you hit that like button. Follow us on Twitter at underscore voice of the fans. That's at underscore voice of the fans on Twitter. Let's create some dialogue, fans, and anything you guys want to talk about throughout the week, man, hit me up. We may even create a live show if you guys want to. If I get enough content or enough questions about a certain topic, we may even go live throughout the week. So hit me up anytime you guys want some live content. I got it for you. Follow me tomorrow. In fact, follow me tomorrow. Voice of the fans on Twitter. I will have live action from the Los Angeles Chargers Draft Fest tomorrow. Los Angeles Chargers Draft Fest. You have some behind the scenes B roll of what's going on in their draft boardroom, excuse me, in their draft fest. We'll also have an opportunity to interview the coaches and players after they get drafted. So I have that posted up on YouTube tomorrow. So please make sure you check that out, fans. I appreciate your support, Cleveland. Thank you for spending time doing the show with me. Thank you for your participation. Fans, as always, thank you for making our voice your choice. Have a good one, fans. Cleveland, I'll talk to you next week.
Right on, bro.